Sandeep Patel from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. As you know, we were discussing about the chapter number 6, that is the boiler. And in the boiler chapter, we have already discussed about the three boilers. First was the Cochrane boiler, second was the Babcock and Wilcox boiler, and third is the Lancashire boiler. In all three boilers, we have discussed about the various specification, characteristics, construction, working, advantage and the disadvantage of these boilers. Okay. Now, in all three boilers, we have understand different components of the boiler. So today, we will start discussing in detail all the components. Okay. Like we have discussed that in the boiler the pressure gauge is used. The pressure gauge is used to measure the pressure of boiler. Like there was one water level indicator. Okay, so we know the water level indicator is used to measure the level of water inside the boiler. Similarly, there was the feed check valve. So the application of feed check valve was that it is used to provide the water inside the boiler. So these were the components of the boiler. So today we will start discussing about these components. Okay, and these components are called boiler mountings and boiler accessories. Okay, so in this lecture I am going to start boiler mountings. Okay, so let us start. First of all, what is the meaning of boiler mountings? So we can say that the boiler mountings are the components which are generally mounted on the surface of the boiler shell. Generally, these are used for the safe and secure operation of the boiler. And we also say that the boiler mountings are the essential parts of the boiler without which the boiler operation cannot be performed. Okay, so to perform the boiler, we need boiler mountings. So these components are necessary for the boiler operation. So according to the Indian boiler regulation, we can say that these are the boiler mountings. Okay. First boiler mountings is the safety valve. Second is the water level indicator. Third is the pressure gauge. Fourth is the steam stop valve. Fifth is the feed check valve. Next, blow off cork, manhole, and the fusible plug. So these are the boiler mountings which we need to discuss. Okay. We know the function of all these boiler mountings. We know that the safety valve is used for the safe and secure operation of the boiler. Okay, whenever the pressure inside the boiler reaches to the higher level, this safety valve is operates and it eliminates the chances of explosion of the boiler. Okay, now second is the water level indicator. We know it is used to measure the level of water. Third is the pressure gauge, which is used to measure the pressure inside the boiler. Fourth is the steam stop valve, which is used to remove the steam from the boiler and to give the steam to the turbine. Next is the feed check valve, which is used to feed the water inside the boiler. Blow off cork, which is used to remove the mud and impurities of the water from the boiler. Next is the manhole, which is used for the maintenance purpose, and the fusible plug. Okay, so these are the boiler mountings. So today in this lecture we will discuss four boiler mountings and then we will discuss another four boiler mountings in our next lecture. Okay, so let us start with our first boiler mounting, that is the blow off cork. Okay, so this is the figure of the blow off cork. Okay, so first of all, let us discuss about the function of blow off. We know that whenever we are going to fill the boiler with the water, some impurities will become with the water inside the boiler. Okay. Now whenever we are going to heat up that water, that impurities will reach at the bottom of the boiler. Okay. So we have to remove that impurities so we can do effective heat transfer. Okay. So to remove that mud and impurities, we are going to use the blow off cork. Okay, so here I have written that the function of the blow off cork is to discharge the mud and other sediments which is deposited in the bottommost part of the water space or of the boiler. Okay, so this is the function of the blow off cork. Now here you can see the figure. Here in the figure you can see at the head there is one guard, next is the yoke, second is the gland, and at the bottom you can see one plug. Okay, so these are the components of the blow off cork. Okay, now what happens here, the blow off cork is fitted to the boiler shell at the bottom level. Okay, now one end of the blow off cork is fitted at the boiler shell and other end of the blow off cork is free to the atmosphere. Okay, now here you can see there is one plug. Okay, so we can rotate that plug with the help of the guard. Here we have provided gland for the support and for preventing the leakage. Okay, so we have here provide the gland. Now whenever we want to remove the mud and impurities from the boiler, we have to rotate this guard. Okay, so whenever we rotate this guard or this column, then the whole of the plug will be in line with the whole of the shaft. Okay, so ultimately what happens, the mud and impurities from the boiler will going outward to the atmosphere. Okay, so this is how simply the blow off cork works. So here I have described the construction and working of the blow off cork as it is fitted on the boiler shell directly or through the short branch of the pipe at the lowest part of the water space. It consists of the gunmetal conical plug having a rectangular hole spindle with yoke. Okay, so generally this plug is made of the gunmetal. Okay, now second is the working. When this rectangular hole of the plug through in line with the casing of the hole by the rotating spindle, the water is flow out. Now when the solid portion of the plug is in front of the casing hole, water cannot be flow out from the water boiler. Okay, so this is how simply the blow off cork works. Okay, now I am going to discuss about our second boiler mounting is the fusible plug. Okay, so first of all, what is the function of the fusible plug? So we can say that fusible plug is used to protect the boiler from the damage due to the overheating which is caused by the low water level in the boiler. Okay, so this is the function of the fusible plug. Okay, now we know in the Cochrane boiler the fusible plug was placed above the furnace. Okay, so what happens? Generally, we are going to provide the water with the help of the feed check valve. Okay. Now we heat up the water and the steam is generated from the water. Okay. Now after certain times what happens? The level of the water is decreased. Okay. And if the level of water is decreased below the certain level, then what happens? The overheating of the boiler is occurs. And if the overheating of the boiler occurs, then it can damage the fire tubes or it can damage the some components of the boiler. Okay, so to avoid the overheating of the boiler, we are going to use the fusible plug. Okay, so let us discuss about the construction of the fusible plug. In the fusible plug, you can see at the center there is a conical shaped plug. Okay, that is our fusible plug. Now above that conical shaped gunmetal, the fusible metal is fitted. Now the burning temperature or the melting temperature of the fusible metal is very low. Okay, now generally this fusible plug is fitted above the firebox of the crown plate and that separates the boiler shell and the combustion chamber. Now this fusible plug is consist of the two hollow gunmetal body. One is the conical plug which is as shown in the figure. Okay, so here you can see one conical plug is the first gunmetal body and above the fusible metal there is a second gunmetal body, and here you can see there is a rectangle hollow gunmetal body. This is our third gunmetal body. Okay, now let us discuss about the working of the fusible plug. So first of all you have to understand the position of the fusible plug inside the boiler. Okay, so consider this is the fusible plug and this is the boiler shell. Okay, so generally the fusible plug is fitted over the firebox. Now below the fusible plug there will be the hot gases and above the fusible plug there will be a water. So what happens? From the fire gases it will taking the heat. Okay, and then it will transfer that heat to the water. Okay, now if the water level is sufficient, then there will be no chances of the overheating because the heat will be transferred from the firebox to the fusible plug and the fusible plug will transfer that heat to the water. Okay, so this is the continuous process. But what happens? After heating up the water, the steam is generated. So we can say that the level of the water is decreased. Okay, so after some times what happens? If the level of the water is decreased, then the same amount of the heat cannot be transferred to the upper side of the fusible plug. Okay, so we can say that the same amount of the heat will not transfer from the firebox to the upper surface of the fusible plug. So there is a chances of the overheating of the fusible plug, and if the fusible plug will be overheated, so then there is a chances of the damage of the certain parts of the boilers. Okay, so to avoid the overheating, what happens, these conical plugs will be fall down, so there will be a space is created between the firebox and the outer steam. Okay, so steam will rush to the firebox and it will stop the furnace. Okay, and ultimately overheating can be eliminated. Okay, so here I have described that working, that in the normal working condition, you can see here, in the normal working condition, the upper surface of the fusible plug is covered with the water, which keeps the temperature of the plug below its melting point, while the other end of the plug is exposed to the fire or the hot gases. Okay, now the low melting point metal is joining the second end and the third plug and does not melt till the upper surface of the plug is submerged into the water. So when it is submerged into the water, it will continuously transfer the heat from the firebox to the upper surface. Okay, now upper there is a water. So when the fusible plug is submerged into the water will gain all the heat which is reached to the fusible plug. Okay, but in the case of the water level falls below the danger level, then what happens, the fusible plugs becomes the uncovered by the water and it get exposed to the steam, and we know that the steam is the bad conductor of the heat. Okay, so it will not gain all the heat which is reached to the fusible plug. Okay, so we can say that this overheats the plug and the fusible metal having the low melting point, so that it melts quickly. So we can say that the third plug drops down and the second hollow gun metal will open. Okay, and the steam will rush into the furnace, and after all it will stop the furnace. So we can reduce the overheating with the help of this fusible plug. Okay, so this is all about the working of fusible plug. Now our third mounting is the feed check valve. Okay, so this is the diagram of the feed check valve. Now we know that the function of feed check valve is that it is used to feed the water inside the boiler. Okay, so that I have written here, that it controls the supply of water inside the boiler and to prevent the escaping of the water from the boiler when the feed pressure is less than the boiler pressure of the pump is stopped. Okay, so here you can understand that whenever we want to supply the water inside the boiler shed, this feed check valve is used. Okay, now here you have to understand the pressure difference. Okay, now whenever there will be a less pressure inside the boiler and high pressure at the pump, then automatically the water will be transferred from the pump to the boiler. Okay, but after certain times, if the boiler pressure is rise above the pump pressure, then this feed check valve will helps to stop down the pump. Okay, so we can say that the water which is inside the boiler cannot be run out from the boiler to the pump. Okay, so reverse flow cannot be possible with the help of this feed check valve. Okay, so flow will be in the one directional only, from the pump to the boiler. Okay, the flow cannot be reversed from the boiler to the pump. Okay, this cannot be possible. Now we are going to discuss about the construction of this feed check valve. So here you can see the components of the feed check valve. There is one hand wheel with which we can regulate the flow. Okay, next is the spindle and the gland. Spindle is used to up and down motion. Spindle is used to do up and down motion, and which can also control the flow. Okay, next is the gland. Gland is used to support, providing the support and preventing the leakage. Okay, here you can see there is a non-return valve, and below there is a suction pipe, or the from which the water will be come inside the feed check valve. Okay, and second is the outlet pipe. So this is the simple components of the feed check valve. Okay, so in the construction we can write that the feed check valve is fitted in the water space of the boiler just below the normal level of the water. It consists of the non-return valve, water inlet pipe, outlet pipe, spindle, gland and the wheel. The inlet of the valve is connected with the feed pump, whereas the outlet is connected with the boiler. Okay, so from the feed pump we can gain the water, and from the outlet pipe we can provide the water to the boiler. Okay, now let us discuss about the working. So here we can write that in the inlet and the outlet pipe of the valve are exposed to the different pressure when the pump is in operation. At the inlet of the valve, the feed pump pressure is act, whereas the outlet of the pipe, the boiler pressure will be act. Okay. Now when the feed pump is in operation, the pressure of the feed pump or the pressure of the inlet is higher than the pressure of the boiler. Okay. And due to this pressure difference, the water will becomes from the inlet side to the outlet side. Okay, so this is the normal flow. But what happens when the pressure inside the boiler will be rise? Okay, so when the pressure inside the boiler will be rise, this non-return valve will regulate the flow and it will not providing the flow in the reverse direction. Okay, so the water which is inside the boiler cannot go to the atmosphere or cannot go to the pump. Okay, so this is the simple working of the feed check valve. Okay, now our next boiler mounting is the water level indicator. So here you can see the diagram of the water level indicator. Okay, so in the diagram, A part is the end plate of the boiler. B and C is the hollow gun metal casting. D and E is the cork. F is the gauge glass. G is the hollow metal column. H and J two walls. K is the drain cork. L is the guard glass. M and P are the screw caps and X and Y are the flanges. Okay, so these are the components. So first of all, what is the function of this water level indicator? So we know that the water level indicator is used to measure the level of water inside the boiler. Okay, generally we are going to provide the water with the help of the feed check valve. Okay, but we have to measure the level of water, so that level can be measured with the help of this water level indicator. Okay, so that I have written here that the function of the water level indicator is to indicate the level of water inside the boiler. Okay, so this is the diagram of the water level indicator. Now we are going to discuss about the construction and the working. So first of all, you can see in the construction that there are two columns you can see. Okay, the first column is the glass tube and second column is made by the steel. Here you can see there are two valves. Okay, first is the valve which is fitted to the steam side and second valve is fitted to the water side. Okay, so basically what we are going to do, first of all we will open both the valve. Okay, so from the upper valve the steam will become inside the glass tube and from the bottom side the water will become inside the glass tube. Okay, and finally the water will reach at the certain level. Okay, and that level we can measure with the help of the scale. Okay, after that we will close that both the valve. Okay, now here there is one drain of cork. What is the function of the drain of cork? Whenever we are going to change this glass tube, okay, whenever we are going to open this drain cork, the water and steam which is present in the glass tube will be moved out and finally we can replace this glass tube. Okay, after that we will close this drain of cork and the same operation will be occurs and we can measure the level of water with the help of this water level indicator. Okay, so here the construction that the water level indicator contains the three cork. First is the steam cork, water cork and the drain cork and the glass tube. Okay, we know the function of the water cork is to provide the water from the water side to the glass tube. Second, from the steam cork the steam will becomes and it will reach to the glass tube, and the third is the drain cork. Whenever we want to replace the tube we can use this drain cork. Okay, next is the steam cork is connects or disconnects the glass tube with the steam space, and the water cork is connects or disconnects the glass tube with the water space. Okay, and we know that this glass tube is protected by means of the guard glasses. Okay, so the glass cannot be break. Generally this glass is the toughened glass. Okay, and this cannot be break by applying the certain load. Okay, now let us discuss about the working of the water level indicator. So here we can write that when the steam cork and the water cork is open, the steam is rushes from the upper part or from the upper passage and the water will rush from the lower passage. Okay, and after certain time it will reach at the certain height. So from that height we can measure the level of water. Okay, so this is the simple working of the water level indicator. Okay, so In this lecture, we have discussed about the boiler mountings. First of all, what is the meaning of boiler mounting? Then we have discussed about the first four boiler mounting. First is the blow-off cock, second fusible plug, third feed check valve, and fourth water level indicator. We have discussed the function of all these four boiler mounting, construction and working. Okay, in our next lecture we will discuss about the another four boiler mountings. Okay, so this is what all about today's lecture. Thank you for today.